Good morning everyone, welcome to another aquaponics on the cheap video. The overflows are taken care of. I'm putting some cotton wool buds down. Those tiny black dots you can just see are catnip seeds. I'm going to see how that goes. It's early in the morning and these guys don't get much light in the morning at the current time. These adapters are shoddy, so I'll give them an extra bit of grow light. I found quite a few fish have actually survived. I apologise to them, I thought they were all dead, but they all just hide really well at the very bottom. I'm using the 240 volt because I haven't serviced that 12 volt pump. Again, I just fed the fish, but they're probably not going to become visible. All the leak issues have been taken care of here by separating all the drains. Because I'm using a less powerful pump, I've deregulated this. Best news of all, the ammonia test kit I've been using, the ammonia is now under control, it's dropping, it's self-regulating, it's all good. So I'm very happy with that. Finally welded up the tank stand. I've got to do some more wood. I just displaced all the junk this way, so it's still very messy. A lot of these big tools here, like this saw, aren't mine, so they're not usually in the shed. I'm currently just about to go outside of the welder and weld up the second one out there. And then this tank here will be moved as well. And I put in the extra solar bulb, which actually holds up better with this bit of wire. So I'm going to put in, I'm going to increase tension on this one so it sticks out of the roof more. But you can see, you can't really see on the camera here. I'll just move over here near the door. They do actually put out a fair amount of light. I'm going to build a heat, what do you call it, a heat exchanger, and put it in the roof section. I've got some bolts and I'm going to rig up some extra grow lights. These ones actually have gimbals on them so they can be focused. So that's still to come. Got to insulate the doors. I've got a couple of different battery isolation options to use multiple batteries. I'm going to put a few more batteries off here, my little Century string. This way I've got another larger battery just there. That'll be hooked up, and a huge battery bank, very large amp hours just here, and that will be soon hooked up. So I'll have wind and solar and a 12 volt rail running across here for the input, multiple solar controllers. I'm going to make my own rail out of aluminum bar, because bus bars they charge an absolute fortune for. Really I can just run a thick strip of copper wire across there and a couple of screws and clamp it together in some aluminum. Why they're charging me so much money for a fancy made one? I'm not going to give them the satisfaction or my money. Yeah, all good news. Moving forward, eventually these tanks here, we're going to have another tank here. I'm not sure what I'll do in the middle. Larger growing plants up the middle, smaller growing plants up the top, many more grow lights here. Heat will all be recycled in here. I'm probably going to use this same insulation that's on the wall. It's actually this is just sarking, it's only paper. You can see there's no actual, it's only insulating for light. Nowhere near as good as this stuff, which actually has earth wool in behind it. It's quite good. In places I have stuffed insulation in, but yeah, I want to seal these gaps here too. I'm going to have these properly sealed between them so that the entire thing will be its own little geospace bubble, and there'll be a way of, I'm going to put an insulated block over the top of this so hot air in winter can't come out, and in summer there'll be an extraction fan underneath that will force it out. I found this little cheap vent I put in last year is not UV stable despite what it claims on the packaging. It was fading, the plastic was coming off as a powder on my hands, so I gave it a good spray of zinc. Can't hurt. Yeah, gonna have to buy some expensive $800, $500 wind and solar. Capsicums are still coming along without many leaves. Leaves are picking up a lot, as you can see on these plants. Not so much on some of the other ones. They're still just dying sticks, which is okay. They can make room for other things. I ate that little tiny red capsicum. It was nice, but I just ate it by itself. It was too small for anything else. The other one there hasn't ripened up. Hopefully it'll keep growing. I'll see if I can zoom in on its friend that was the same size. Just see it, and there we go. I ate that one that size, which is nothing really. Anyway, all good news moving forward. And as I can see in the mornings, at least at this time of the year, the sun rises in that direction. So I've ordered a couple of bits of Perspex. I'm going to make a double glazed window for in here, despite the fact that that'll eventually all be greenhouse that way. I want to keep insulation between the two sections, because I'm not going to try and climate control for heat wise the other greenhouse. I'm not going to insulate that, since it'll all just be polycarbonate, just this stuff. Just this stuff here. And so in winter it'll be freezing out there, and in summer it'll be quite a bit warmer. In here I can actually put insulation, so I'm going to keep this room as insulated as possible. So this will be, there's actually quite a decent gap up between these batteries. Up here, this messy bit of insulation just sitting there. I'll take care of that. That gap there behind the batteries, which you still can't see that well, I'll bring this to the front of the shelf and I'll insulate all the way up to the edge there. And I'll rewrap these back in silver foil, and I'll maybe put in extra windows here and across there, etc. if my double glazing idea test works out. And I found out one-way mirror film is quite cheap off eBay, and I'm wondering how much efficiency that'll add with light coming in and not coming out. Temperatures in the days these days are hitting just above 30 in the day, which you can't see in that angle. You can't see it at all. Anyway guys, it's already getting too long on the video. Bye everyone.